Thank you for coming back to Polka Dot Mailbox, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how I made these fun pockets of shaker pockets using primarily the Sweet Story collection, but a lot of other fun embellishments as well. I'm going to first show you how I made them, and then I'll walk you through each individual one. So what I start with is my fuse tool. The tips for the fuse tool are definitely heat this up for a long time. So start this first, plug this in right away. It's got to heat up for at least 10 to 15 minutes. If it's not really hot, it won't give you a good seal. So I would plug this in. I don't have it plugged in now, otherwise I wouldn't be able to touch it because this is burning hot. So you start with this plugged in and then make your sequin mix. So when you're making a sequin mix, pick all different shapes and sizes and colors. I did a number of different mixes and I'm going to show you here. So this is one of the first ones I made. So the first time I made the mixes, I just went with pink, white, gold, and then like different shades of pinks and different sizes. So you can see here how it really adds a lot to the, put this underneath so you can see better, adds a lot to the project to have these different size little sparkles and stuff. So I did different shaped and different sized sparkles. There's like a heart in there, so that's cute. And you can see this here too. And I even put like some beads. This one's got some beads in it. I tried experimenting with this because the Sweet Story collection had some red and some blue as well as the pink. I tried mixing a bunch. I didn't like this one as much with this shaker mix of all these different really strong colors. I really like this pocket, but I think it would have looked way better if it was just, even though like those colors are in there, like I've got the dark blues, and there's dark green under there, and then the pinks and the whites. Like I've incorporated all of these colors. But anyway, so when you make your mix, choose a variety of different shapes and sizes. So like I've got some beads that will add some like rolling around sort of textures, and some sequins and different size. So I have different shades. There's so many different shades and sizes of pinks in here. Okay, so the way that I make bulk shakers like this is I start with one of these baseball card type pocket letter holders. I will create a sequin mix, and then I will just grab as much as I can pinch into my hand, and then I'll put it in the first pocket like that. So go down and work your way up so you're not like having things bend over and spill over there. And then I just go and I seal the tops. So I'm going to show you something important to consider here. This has got lines on it for an important reason. You can see. So the seal on this pocket goes all the way around here, but you have to cut it off at this part of the seal. So it's not sealed there. So you either have to seal it up, but what I just do is I seal it across. So I would just take, and this is my other tip for you, is always put a piece of paper underneath your plastic. So I would just take this, I would line up these edges here with my fuse tool ruler, and I would just zip across, and then I would move it down and zip across. So I would fill each one up, seal them all off, and then I cut them. But when you want to cut these ones here, there's one line that seals both sides. So I come through and I seal on this middle one. You can just seal the inside of each of those so that you can cut in between the line that's already there and the line that you've created, so that this seal protects this pocket and the one you've created protects that pocket. So that's how I make these really bulk shaker pockets all at once, so that you can do all of this work and then have the fun of decorating. So I'm going to show you now all of the fun pockets that I made. So I showed you, these ones are my favorite right here. I used a tag that had some sentiments on it, and I really like the way that works. I really like these acetate pieces. acetate pieces are a challenge to use on projects sometimes, and this is a fun way because you could kind of still see the shaker underneath the acetate dog here, and so there's a see-through aspect kind of adds to the project, and it's got that glossy kind of finish already. Anyway, I really like the way that this all balances out. So I just took the like a little puffy heart from Amy Tangerine and a Maggie Homles Thickers heart there, and I put them on top. I tied a little bow and put it on the dog's collar, and I really love the way that turned out, the simplicity of it. This I was thinking could be in an album. So you could say smile and maybe be happy. It was my idea that this would be, you would continue on with some sort of a message down below here. So that's just like a little sequin cluster on the star. That star's from All Heart. This is from a package of Remarks stickers that look very much like a Maggie Homles line, like her coloring and stuff like that. Okay, so those are those two. And this is from that same packet of Maggie, or of Remarks stickers that I was saying. Here's one of the Sweet Story rainbow acetate pieces. Again, I've layered some hearts on there. I've left the tie that came in through this punch, so you could create your own if you didn't have these. I had these already made with the eyelets and everything, and I like the metal and the material and the different textures that provides. So that was a cute one there. Looks nice. So again, I just took one of the tags, and here, for the most part, I cut off the side piece, but for this one I left it on because I wanted to have this pocket stick out, and I could just glue this piece on here. And I'll show you actually another time that I left on the side piece. So here I left the side piece on because if you flip it over and you see it's kind of in the middle of the shaker here. So I left it on and I covered up those. There's some words there that are just sort of stamped in. So those have all been covered up. So when you see it like this on a project, you wouldn't see that, but this adds a nice little way for me. I tied a bow around here. I took one of those butterflies. I've been using my thickers that came with this. I'll show you actually. It's this set of Maggie Homles thickers here, and the stars and stuff had all these lined. I've used them all now. There was like a heart here with all these little ticks around it. So I've been taking those and putting them in between my butterflies on projects where it's gold so that it matches and it hides the silver staple. And then these are the flowers that I made. I went and added stickles to those flowers. I'll link here my tutorial for you if you want to see how I made these paper flowers with literally just this punch and a glue gun. Super simple. And then I put stickles. What I discovered after is that you can fold over the paper flowers as well, and it kind of flattens them out, and it gives an even more sort of true dimension as to how these flowers would appear in real life. But I've been using those flowers in a lot of embellishing, and I think it just adds like a beautiful touch. So if you wanted to check that video out, I'll link that there for you. And here's another one of those flowers that I've put on this. So again, this is Sweet Story. This is Amy Tangerine, Sweet Story, those flowers that I made. I put a little bow on here that I made, and yeah, it's just a fun little shaker pocket. That was what that one looks like. Here's a fun one, another one of those vellum butterflies. This one has holographic paper at the bottom of it. On top, a vellum that's pink and gold. I put some thread in behind, and I just used this simple Let Your Kindness Fill the World ephemera piece from Sweet Story on top of the pocket. I really like the simplicity of that. I love this bubblegum ephemera piece in Sweet Story. So I just took one of my flowers and one of the bows, Make Today Count, And again, you can see how having the different sized sequins up there have really created a nice backdrop for this piece here. And this one is very colorful. Again, I used another one of those acetate pieces. I took one of my Prima flowers and I put it behind one of these beautiful butterflies. There's some lace, flower, gems. I stapled in behind here a little piece of ephemera, and it says "Be awesome today." This one I put a little ruffle behind it. I did lots of layering here, heart, and then the thread, the Be Original ephemera, the ephemera, and then Be Original on top. This is a sweet story. This again is the Maggie Homles stickers I was showing you. This is the card from the ephemera of the sweet stories as well. It's hard to use ephemera pieces that are big like this normally in a project because I like little shapes that are round, but I found that these were a good use for them. This is the that acetate ephemera from Sweet Stories again as well, and I used one of my butterflies and backed it on. This little chipboard piece was already layered. I added the sequins, but this was one of the Remarks stickers that I used on there as well. And again, I put this red in here, and it's got the red cherries. That one there. So this one is another one of the acetate pieces. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go, and then it's just a simple acetate underneath this pink butterfly layered over top of a bow, and fun little shaker on the back. This one's super cute. I created these little lollipops. I can leave a link here for the video on the tutorial of how I created these. And because this said sugar, I thought it would be cute to include a little lolly on there. And this is a heart that came from Jolie's boutique. And I put a little resin flower that was gifted to me in Happy Mail from Miss Avali. Tina gave me that in a Christmas Advent calendar. So I brought that out because it was the perfect match. Find what makes you happy. Again, I went and added one of those flowers, a little sequin on top of a heart, a bow there, and then it's just layered up on some pop dots on that pretty heart, and that's a fun one there. I love this one. So it says, "Be true." Again, the Maggie Homles stickers. This butterfly was from Jolie's boutique. The flowers, one of the ones I made. There's so much sparkle on this. I added this little bow over top of the true just to tie some pink into there. And this one just glitters. Like, it's so sparkly. I know exactly who I'm giving this one to. And I have thoughts for who all of these are going to. They're going into a bunch of different Happy Mail projects, but it's fun because I made them all together. This says "Dreaming of You." It's all layered. Again, this is another Jolie's boutique flower on top of a Remarks. On top of it is a Remarks layered chipboard, and these are the Maggie Homles stickers. One of my sequins. I like to draw in sequins from the mix and put them on the outside of the package as well, because it just adds to the depth of the project overall. So that is all of the yummy goodness. I had so much fun creating these. And like I said, if you want to create, this is 2 baseball sheets. There's 19 then, I guess, in total. Oh no, there's 9 in here. So there's 18 in total. And this is how I quickly made them. So you can leave this on, you can cut them off. You could actually even create a little book out of them. I considered leaving them whole and then just folding them up as a little book that would open up, and that looks really cute too because they're already together. It was really easy to create a little tri-fold pocket like that you could do. But anyways, you could even actually do 1 tri-fold pocket for the cover, 2 on the inside that you could stick little gifts into, And anyways, you can play with it that way. So lots of fun ideas. I hope this inspired you. I've been waiting for my Sweet Story paper to arrive, and the chipboard and the puffy stickers. But in the meantime, I found a way to work with Sweet Story without having anything other than the bows, butterflies, and ephemera. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.